So this is going to be a short instructional video on how to do Chaturanga. What I want to show with this video is no matter where you are, whether you're a beginner or you're more intermediate or an expert, you can access this pose. And that's good because in like vinyasa, which is what I teach, and ashtanga, it is a transitional posture that gets you from one place to another. So not only does it strengthen the core and it's a great arm and leg strengthener in its own right, but it's also a really good pose to get you from one place to another. So we're just going to briefly go through the very basic startup version of Chaturanga into a jump back Chaturanga. And wherever you are, don't ever judge that compared to anybody else's practice, and never even judge your own practice based on where you were the day before. So this is entry level Chaturanga. We'll just go through it first. Come onto all fours on the mat and then push into a plank position with their hands directly underneath the shoulders. Pulling up on the stomach, and then bring your knees down to the mat, and you're going to lower down your head to the mat, grazing your elbows next to your ribs, and then straighten the arms out into cobra, and then come back to the mat. I'm going to push back into all fours, and from there turn the toes under and push back into downward dog. We'll go through that one again. So standing on the mat, raise the arms with an in-breath, forward fold with an out-breath, in-breath, halfway lift or monkey, out-breath, put the hands onto the mat and step back into plank. Bring the knees to the mat and bend the elbows and lower your chest through the elbows, grazing the ribs with the elbows. Push up into cobra with the arms still underneath, hands still underneath the shoulders. Take an in-breath and then push back onto all fours and into downward dog with the out-breath. And just take a few breaths here. Okay, so now we're going to come into Chaturanga straight from plank without putting the knees down. So find a nice, strong plank position, pulling up on the stomach and keeping the back body straight. Hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to tilt forward on the toes, coming slightly over the hands. Graze the ribs, lower down into like a press up, but with the elbows against the ribs. And then push up into upward dog. So that's legs off the mat. And then back into downward dog. Let's do that again. So, come into your plank, tilt forward on the toes, lower the elbows to 90 degrees, push up into upward dog, so legs off the mat, and then push back into downward dog. And just take a breath here. Now we're going to put that into a flow. Okay, so let's walk forward to the front of the mat. Find a nice Tadasana standing pose, and then we're going to breathe in, raise the arms above the head, and swan dive down to a forward fold with the out breath. In breath, halfway lift or monkey. Out breath, hands down, step back into plank, tilt forward on those toes. Lower down the hands and arms to 90 degrees. Upward dog, in breath. Outward dog, downward dog, out breath. And breathe. That was option 2. And now we're going to come to jump back Chaturanga. This does take some practice, but when you can do it well, it really helps your practice flow. So come to monkey, put the hands to the floor and just take some weight into them evenly through the hands. Lean forward and then pop back with a jump into Chaturanga. It's very important that you come into Chaturanga hands. So then upward dog and then downward dog. You need to do this. When you do this, you must always jump back into Chaturanga, not with straight arms. It's very important for your elbows. Right, let's flow. So in breath, raise the arms above the head. Out breath, fold forward with a swan dive, forward fold. In breath, monkey. And then with that out breath, find that place on the floor, evenly distribute the weight, and then pop back into Chaturanga arms. Flip over to upward dog with an in breath, and with an out breath, downward dog. It's the same position for this as it is the basic, so the elbows stay close to the ribs. Right, jump forward to the front of the mat, take a forward fold with an out breath, and breathe in as we raise the arms above the head, and let's go through the flow again. So forward fold, out breath, in breath, halfway lift. And now place those hands, even distribute the weight, put some weight into the hands and pop back into Chaturanga. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. And there you have it, Chaturanga.